E acabou o primeiro capítulo. Agora vimos facer o gameplay do segundo. A ver que se nos contamos por aquí. Pasaron 15 anos desde que abandonei Aguas Fuentes, terras ancestrales da miña family, como primeiro fillo do Lord Raimels, bla bla, poderes da familia Lannister, eu pireime, ejos das redes intrigas que tejían bla 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 bla. Morreu meu pai e veño. Así que imos a lo que pasa. A ver que se contan por aquí os colegas.
Finally we come to River Spring. 15 years ago it was one of the region's most flourishing towns. But things slowly worsened, and today River Spring knows only idle craftsmen and discontent among the peasants. And the death of Lord Reynold Sarwick will not improve matters. That said, his death didn't surprise many people. The poor man was but a shadow of his former self since the disappearance of his eldest son. They say that his daughter is the one who makes decisions since then. And you can see where that has led.
Ai, sí.
River Spring.
Mala
It is
cousa.
much changed.
Have you been here before?
I
Pasou
used to
moito
live in
tempo,
River
tío.
Spring. I left 15 years
Moito
ago.
tempo.
Yes, that was a while ago. Back then the town was still
É
prosperous.
verdad.
What
15
happened?
anos é moito tempo.
I don't know the details, but I think it had something to do with the eldest Sarwick boy leaving.
I must go to the castle.
Oh? And, if I may ask, what would a red priest like you be doing here?
I am here for the burial ceremony. I am the son of Reynold Sarwick.
Hai que ir aos
How
enterros,
so?
tío.
You're much too old to be Garwin Sarwick.
Gawain is my young brother. I am the elder, Alistair.
Father above? After so long?
No,
We thought you had disappeared. My sympathies for your father. I did not recognize you.
My god R'hllor now watches over him. Thank you for the crossing, ferryman.
Bueno, pois vamos facer a Alistair. Antes fixo no arqueiro e tiven que volver atrás. Non me gustaba xogar con arqueiro, non pode ser. O jefe dunha casa non pode ser arqueiro, eso é imposible, non pode ser. Onde se viu eso, un arqueiro, no, tío? A ver, adeptos a bravo de combate con espada, estilo basado en velocidade, equilibrio e agilidade, menudo de estabilidade. Táctica principal, espadas, proyectiles, hojas cortas, armadura ligera. Siguiente. No, a ver, non quero este, a ver. Tarín del agua, esto que é, espadas, martillos, armadura media. Máis defensa, máis tal. Actúa en el momento oportuno para eliminar a sus enemigos. Para esta táctica hai que usar arma de una mano. Non sei, mercenario, arquero. Un arquero, tío. Non sei que pillar. Tácticas secundarias, maestro danzarín del agua, destreza, frenesí, intensidad y agilidad para aprovechar. Mercenario, non? Asesino curtido, frenesí, defensa. Si, isto é isto. Non pode ser, non quero ser arqueiro porque non me pega. Espadas, proyectiles embotados, hojas cortas, armadura ligera. Ten mellor pinta esto, non? Confías en tu capacidad de respuesta y agilidad para aprovechar la habilidad del adversario. Sí, vamos a pillar esto. Vamos a pillar esto. Teño que ser ágil, non? Confías en tu respuesta y agilidad, sí. Teño que ser ágil, así que son ágil. Sin contemplacións. Siguiente. Intensidade, a ver como va esto. Teño que darlle esto a narices. Esto que é? Represalia. Coste energético, armas necesarias, armas de una mano. Mantiene posición defensiva para contraatacar, es ideal si está rodeado. Fija a tus enemigos para que se precipiten hacia ti. Puf, eso no me gusta nada. Cada vez más poderoso. Pues no me gustan nada los de este, sinceramente. A ver o mercenario que habilidades me dá. A ver, asesinato. Un ataque sigiloso lleva a cabo con éxito, causa daños significativos. ¿Esto qué? Sí, probabilidad de provocar el estado de hemorragia 7 segundos por cada ataque, 15. Sí. Pillamos esto. Veremos o que pasa despois. Veremos o que pasa. Lista espadas de una mano, espadas de dos manos, sí, está claro. Esto. Martillos de guerra, martillos de una mano, martillos... No, no. Espadas, espadas, espadas. Hay que dar a espadas. Siguiente. O usan espadas, non se pode ser. Entonces aquí quedamos. Ciencia de los venados, bruto... ¿Qué es esto? Cuidado de provocar estado con cada... É unha basura. Aumenta la salud ganado con un vial curativo. Nada. Poñemos superdotado e poñemos... Gota tamén, molame da gota. Fíxome gracia. Poñería hemofílico, pero dame certo asquete. Dame certo asquete, paso de poñer hemofílico. Venga. Confirmar. Castilla de las Fuentes para asistir al velatorio de tu padre. Vale. Teño que ir a asistir ao velatorio de meu pai. Se ha unido al grupo, Morse ha abandonado el grupo. Por aquí, por aquí, por aquí, por aquí. A ver qué se cuentan. Tío, ¿qué te cuentas? Cuéntame.
With things as they are, what choice do we have?
If things are so bad, what do you propose to do?
It's been too hard for too long. It's time to revolt. We must take matters into our own hands.
Pasa adiós a todos
we'll
a
take up
guillotina.
arms.
If you follow that path, the army will have no choice but to fight against you.
Vamos
Do you want this to
pedra.
end in blood and tears?
You don't know what you're talking about, stranger. The house is dying. The army of River Spring is but a shadow of what it was. You obviously know nothing of the misery we suffer here.
That may be, but I do know that violence is answered with more violence. This path never ends well.
La violencia
We're already
engendra más
suffering.
violencia.
What is it to us if we die of hunger or by a sword?
También hay
What
verdad.
has happened here? These lands were once thriving.
It's the Lords. It's been too long since they cared about what happens in their own lands. Neighboring lords have taken the chance to grab some of our land, and nothing is done to stop it. And now that Lord Sarwick is dead, it will only get worse. We must do something.
But there are still Sarwicks in River Spring.
Don't make me laugh. The eldest fled years ago. As for the others, they're no better than he.
Todos
Anyway,
una panda de cobardes.
This concerns only the people of River Spring, stranger.
So be it. I pray that
Extranjero.
your choices will not lead you to reckless acts. May Relor light your path through the shadows.
É un bon insulto de
You,
o de estranxeiro, Sí,
It's
señor.
been weeks since you've been able to bring in
Non hai peor
fresh
insulto que
wares.
chichar en
There's
estranxeiro.
not a ham left in town.
A ver, vamos a ver, por onde teño que ir. Epa, non me caigo, menos mal. Por onde demonios teño que ir? Por aquí, non? Suponse. Bueno, suponse. Hai 15 anos que me fundo esta puta city, non
We don't
sei
take
onde
well to
están
new faces round here.
as cousas. Non, por aquí non podo ir. Por aí tampouco. Eso está chapao. Eso está chapao tamén. Joder. A ver, por aquí.
Lord Sarwick changes.
Vamos por aquí, a ver. Non sei por onde ir. Monedas. A ver. No, joder, podía vir antes por aquí. Pero son un pouco polas.
Forgive my boldness, noble stranger, but I cannot let you walk into
Joder,
certain
contra
death
mal
like that.
extranjero, estamos empezando
What do you
a
mean?
mosquear.
Well, I'm not sure of the customs in the free cities nowadays, but I wouldn't dream of entering Westerer's arm like that.
Pues estoy
And
sin un
yet,
can, como no
as
me
the
regales.
smith labours day and night for us, it so happens that I sell the finest weapons. Blunt,
Nice.
cutting, perforating. You know what they say, my lord. Don't buy your blade until you know what you plan to stick
Ahí
it into.
estamos. Cortantes, por ejemplo.
Tell me more about cutting weapons.
The most popular.
Las
I know
espadas
of
que
no weapon
pasan
passed
de
down through
generación en
families that is
generación.
not
Ah.
a sword, my lord, and there are good reasons for that. Cutting weapons are especially designed to
O sea,
fight
contra
against
armaduras
light armor
ligeras,
such as leather,
piel bajo
and
tela.
even the skin underneath. Do you need more information?
Es contundente
Tell me
para
more
armaduras
about
pesadas,
blunt
supongo, ¿no?
weapons.
Ah, the pure power of a mace. Our good king. Blunt weapons are especially designed to
Diseñados
fight
para
against
luchar,
heavy
sí,
armor such
armaduras
as
pesadas,
plate.
vale,
They
típico
co-
de
Do you
todos
need
os
more
idiomas,
information?
No, no necesito máis.
I have things
No.
to do.
Eso
Don't
tamén.
hesitate to come
Teño
back and
prisa,
see
tío.
me in the Merchant Square.
Que no, tío.
I weep to see
Aire.
you so ill-equipped in this town.
Aire.
And don't forget, you'll be wanting armor. After all, no matter the weapon
Pesado.
you face, simple clothes will not protect you.
Venga. Armas punzantes, armas contundentes. Vale, venga, fuera. Vamos, que teño que ir a un puto enterro, cojones.
Very nice
Come
robe
on.
you've got there. That must be worth its weight in
Vale,
copper.
su peso en cobre. Venga, muerto de hambre, pasa de mí.
My lord,
Sí, ¿a dónde estás todo
grub for some
apañado?
food.
Nah,
Just
couldn't be.
coin.
We haven't seen him in 15
Mira,
years.
aquí hay monedas. ala.
One too many horns of ale
Ni
today.
siquiera te molestas en buscar monedas, tío. Que dirá fácil. Por aquí.
Halt, priest. This town is in mourning. Access to the castle is closed during the ceremony.
Joder, pues teño que ir,
I'm
tío.
actually here to attend Lord Sarwick's burial.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
sabes esa paliza de
I'm under
viaje que me
strict
pegué para
orders
ir a
to only
enseñarlo al
allow
enterro.
entry to close kin. With the villagers' current grumblings, we don't want to risk problems.
I am
Exactamente.
Lord Reynald Sarwick's eldest son, and I am here to attend my father's funeral.
His eldest son? Do you take me for a fool? I have been at my post for more than 5 years, and I have never once seen your face.
It has been more than 5 years since I left Riverspring. Please call on Mr. Harwin. He knows of my arrival.
Well, we'll see about that, but I doubt he'll come here for you. The ceremony's about to start. John, go find Maester Harwin.
What is going on here? Why has John gone for the Maester?
Ryman, it's me, Alistair.
Several hells! Alistair? Graydon, I told you only family. That excludes peasants, dogs and cravens who abandon their families.
Buf, sí que hay conversacións, madre mía. Hay conversacións hasta cansarse. Venga.
Enough, Ryman. However long I was absent, this house is still mine.
How dare you! You disappeared without so much as a goodbye years ago, and now you return as if
Típico fillo pródigo.
nothing happened.
The reasons for my exile are mine alone. I owe you no explanation.
I care about your reasons? It's your fault that Lord Sarwick is dead.
You've lost your head, cousin.
Your departure destroyed him. He was never the same again.
Your judgment is clouded, Ryman. I can smell the ale on your breath from here.
Ah,
Stand back! I'll make you eat
borracho.
your words, priest!
Tío. Tío, ¿por qué te peleas conmigo, tío? Joder, qué chorbo, tío. Tío. A ver. Esto que... Non podo facer ataque sigiloso que non estou en...
Enough! Do you not think we have enough
joder.
dead here?
Mr. Harwin?
Alistair, finally. I prayed for your return.
This traitor no longer had his place here, Maester Harwin. He abandoned his castle and his family.
7 gods. Get a hold of yourself, Ryman. I wrote to him to invite him to Lord Sarwick's funeral.
I prefer to leave than to hear more of this.
Xa che digo, puta basura.
Alistair, what a relief it is to finally see you. I had help from my contacts in Bravos to inform you of your father's death. The funeral will be in the God's Wood.
Al bosque de los dioses.
The ceremony has already begun.
Why is it not held at the Sept?
It would be if it were not in ruins. River Spring is suffering on all fronts, I fear. Let us go now.
Ala, veña, ánimo, logo.
Come with me, Alistair. Let us speak as we walk.
Teño que ir con notas
What
este o
happened
bosque.
here, Maester? How could my father allow things to get to this point?
You know,
After you left,
A ver, ¿esto qué es? Arma de una mano. Obliga a subir a tus adversarios en un radio de 3 metros con un ataque circular rápido. Esta habilidad se realiza en el sitio. Non teño máis nada. Joder. Pero inventario que teño. Teño algún inventario? Oh, non teño nada. Bueno, pois nada, a seguir. Non hai máis que facer, non hai que poñer. Veña, vamos a seguir. É que
he began to live more and more
in the past,
and stopped taking care of his duties.
antes non dixen
Your
nada,
sister
pero
quickly found herself
Joder.
managing more than she should have.
Eliana helped my father govern.
Antes o que fixen foi acabar o acto 1 e empezar seguido o acto 2. No acto 1 falo con un personaxe dunha casa e no acto 2 falo con un personaxe de outra casa. Non advertín nada, pero é así. A min tamén me sorprendeu, non contaba con el. Así que imos ao enterro do meu papi.
Well, these last few months, she's practically run the house herself. In spite of her efforts, she was unable to slow the inevitable ruin of her lands without a lord. But all is not so dark. Many of your father's vassals remain faithful to their oath. They have all come to the burial in order to honor his memory. We will speak of all this again after the ceremony. Let us make haste, I beg of you.
Hostia, anda tío, móvete. Necesito monedas que non teño un centavo. Venga. Non paran de falar nunca, madre mía. Eu pensei que non ia haber tanto comentario. A ver, imos logo. Joder, para ser un noble de 4 gatos, Ay, mira que mona.
Hello, Red Priest. I am Lady Eliana Sarwick, daughter of the late Lord Sarwick. You are just in time for the ceremony. Were you close to my father?
You have changed much in 15 years, little sister.
Alistair, why have you
Puto
returned?
gilipollas,
We don't need you
los
here.
tirados e ahora
Owen
ves aquí de
told me of
jefe.
father's death. It was my duty to come.
15 years without any
Xa
news.
che digo, é que
And he had
vamos
to
quedarse,
die for us to
vamos
see you
quedarse.
again. You would have done better to stay where you were.
I do not doubt that my departure was difficult for you.
Difficult, to say the least. Your disappearance was our father's ruin. Do you know how long I cried after you left? And how long I hoped for news of you?
I am sorry. I left Westeros without once turning back, it's true. I understand your reaction. It must have been unbearable for you. But I had to leave. Know that I never forgot you.
That's easy for you to say. And you should know that we here learn to live very well without you.
I understand your reaction, Eliana.
I doubt it. Go pay your last respects to father. We will speak later.
Xa che digo, vaya...
May the stranger, the eternal outcast,
Vaya mala hostia que ten a
now
tipa.
guide you to the Father. And may he judge you fairly and deliver you from
You
the
should
torments
follow
of the
his
seven
example.
hells.
Hala, vamos a presentar los meus respetos ao viejete. Hala, tío. Putada, amigo.
Who is that man? I believe that is the elder Sarwick, the one who disappeared. He has certainly changed, but I recognize him.
Dios, pero tío, que coño fas, tío? Eso non se fai, tío. Joder, xa che vale, puto asqueroso, tío. Ahora está toda a peña flipando, non me extraña que non esteñan flipando. Ainda cando non lle meter unha lanza polo cu. Te jode, que tipo.
could you desecrate our father's body that way?
I desecrated nothing. I performed the final kiss, the tribute that priests of R'hllor pay to the dead.
You may be a Red Priest, but you should respect the beliefs of Riverspring.
I did not intend to be disrespectful, little sister.
Do not think that it is easy for me to speak with you after all this time.
Please, Eliana, listen. I left Westeros without a goodbye, and you have every reason to be angry with me. 15 years ago, the war that King Robert Baratheon fought to claim the throne forced me to commit deeds which haunt me still. The very idea of returning to you was too painful. I did the only thing left for me to do. I left and began a new life elsewhere. Not long ago, I received a letter from Maester Harwin telling of Father's death. I could no longer hide myself. It was time to confront my past. What I regret the most, Ilyana, is that by fleeing to the other side of the waters, it is you whom I wounded.
All these years, I have thrown a veil over your memory. And you return at the moment when everything is in turmoil. I must be alone for the moment. I will see you later, Alistair.
Take your time, little sister. I understand.
Take your
Alistair, Maester Harwin would like to speak with you. He awaits you in the castle courtyard. And if I may add, you should be ashamed of that kiss during the ceremony.
My thanks, Rebecca. I shall go and see him.
Bueno, ala, enterrado. Ahora ímos... A ver... Non sei, a onde ímos ahora? Outra vez? Teño que seguir falando contigo, tío. Es unha puta pesada,
I am not sure there is more to discuss between us, Alistair. I am sincerely sorry for your loss. You know how much your father meant to me. Unless you are truly ready to listen to me, it would be best that you leave.
As you wish.
Ala, aire. Pasamos la vieja esa. Uf, qué abrasada, madre mía, qué abrasada, qué abrasada, qué abrasada. Qué abrasada. Yo que me acostumbrara xa a outro personaje, ahora atopo outra vez en cero, sin saber nada, outra vez sin armadura, sin nada. Volta a empezar. Non sei se despois me vou xogar cos dous personajes á vez, se vai ser como ahora, un acto con un personaje e outro acto con outro. Non estou seguro do que vai pasar. Aí vamos falar outra vez co viajete. Tío, que te contas?
Ah, Alistair, there you are. Please leave us. So, you're not too unsettled by the situation here?
Buah, tío, tengo un mosqueo a ti pa que o flipas.
I spoke to Eliana. She has still not accepted my absence.
That's not surprising. She has suffered much since you left. She had toughened against the pain. But now that you are back, she would not know how to react.
I understand her anger. I pray for things to improve with time.
You are not the sole cause of her unhappiness. As I told you, Ilyana took over managing the lands when your father began to fade. She moved heaven and earth to try to get Riverspring out of this mire.
Our family has always served House Lannister with loyalty. What have they done to help us?
For 15 years your father refused to speak with them, but after his death, Ilyana requested an audience with Queen Cersei Lannister. The audience did not go well, and the Queen will only help us once Riverspring has a new lord at its head. So your sister worked towards this end. Riverspring has belonged to House Sarwick for generations. Ilyana has refused to marry a lord from any other house. So, the Queen has chosen a man for your sister.
Who is it?
Valar, your father's bastard son. Your half-brother.
I left Westeros hoping never to hear that name again. It is out of the question for my sister to marry him. He shares our blood. How can the Queen condone a marriage which goes against nature?
You realize that if Ilyana were to wed another lord, she would take her husband's name. Being a bastard, Valar has no family name. It was the only solution to keep Riverspring for House Sarwick.
What has changed? He was but a simple squire when he went off to war with me. Only a knight may marry a lady.
Valar rose through the ranks and was knighted. The Queen took him into her service.
But Valar served House Sarwick. How did he get close to the Queen?
Seeing him return alone from the war, your father blamed him for your disappearance. No matter how much Valar claimed to work for the prosperity of House Sarwick, your father wouldn't hear any of it. He cursed him and chased him away from River Spring for good. Your half-brother was mad with rage and left seeking vengeance. Apparently, he spent several years at the Citadel, using education to compensate for his low birth.
A maester cannot become a lord.
He never became maester, but stopped at the rank of acolyte. He learned the art of war, studied the higher mysteries, and forged links. He was then thrown out of the Citadel several years later for studying the forbidden arts. He's been a sellsword ever since. His reputation spread quickly, and royal ears heard of him. In 2 years, he went from simple soldier to the Queen's Guard. He moves in the shadows. The nobles of the court fear him.
How do you know all of this?
I went with your sister to the Red Keep in King's Landing, for her audiences with the Queen. It is there that I learned what I know of him.
Valar, he has taken too much from me already. I cannot just stand by while he marries my sister.
There is something else of which we should speak. I would have liked to spare you this. I do not believe that your father's death was an accident. There are certain indications that lead me to believe that he was poisoned.
Are you sure?
Believe me, Alistair, I know this subject. The Strangler is a difficult poison to detect, but it leaves certain traces that cannot be caused by anything else.
Eso mismo.
And you have no idea who it could have been?
I am not certain, but there are rumors of a possible culprit.
Tell me who it is.
This may overwhelm you, but the rumors say that it is your younger brother, Gawain.
Gawain? He was but a child when I left.
He and Lord Reynold had some serious quarrels, and he disappeared on the very night of your father's death. We've had no news of him since.
Why? Why would he have done such a thing?
Maester Harwin! The people are rebelling. Rioting has broken out throughout the town.
With all of this festering discontent, it was only a matter of time before this happened.
Why would the people rise up with such violence?
Well, the lords left the castle after the burial with their fine clothes and all, whereas the villagers are starving. All of this flaunted wealth must have pushed them too far. Everything quickly erupted. They attacked the lords, taking them hostage.
How did things get this far out of hand?
One man used this opportunity to unite the mob against us.
I think I know who leads them. I crossed paths with a certain Tyrek when arriving. A rabble-rouser, telling people to take up arms.
Tyrek? I heard some guards say that he was getting people worked up in a marketplace.
Then that is where we must go.
Captain Ryman says that it's impossible. Our men are barely managing to keep them at bay at the castle doors. There are not enough of us to attempt an escape.
Where is Captain Ryman?
He is at the doors. He's the one that ordered the barricades.
7 hells! If Ryman deals with it, the revolt will end in flames and bloodshed.
River Spring has already suffered too much. I must join Ryman. River Spring needs me. I will not watch our land fall into ruins without acting.
Very well. But I beg you to be careful. You are a Sarwick. Act as a liege, Lord Alster, and know that your acts will have consequences.
I will do what must be done.
I am sure you will.
Los meus actos tendrán consecuencias. Rumores, joder con rumores. Hay rumores, dice o tipo. Acábame de decir o tipo que veo que están queimando a cita entera. Hay rumores. Que collos. Bueno. Venga. Es que me cansaronme tantos diálogos. Cansaronme, realmente sí. Hostias. Hola. Hola. Hay veces que carga muy lento, otras veces carga ben, non sei por qué. A ver que pasa aquí. Hombre, outra vez tú. Hoxe te volver a partir a cara. Teño unha, non hai máis. Sigo igual que antes, non teño nada máis que antes.
Well, well, look who's here, dear Alistair. What have you come for, my good cousin?
I hope you're thinking more clearly than you were earlier.
I have no lessons to learn from a coward.
Let's not start that again. Ryman, I did not come here to fight with you. What can you tell me of the situation here?
We've almost regained control of the southern part of town. My soldiers are about to clean it out. But in the marketplace there are still skirmishes between rioters and people loyal to our cause. Nobles who came for the ceremony are still being held hostage by rebels on the docks in the northern part of town.
Very well, let's go, Ryman. I want to see this for myself.
Really? His lordship would like to see this for himself? Well then, I'd be happy to accompany you to see this. I cannot wait to see you reason with this gang of peasants. I hope that blade at your belt is not just for decoration. Here, take my flask. You might need it.
Unha botella. Que me deches? Dechesme algo? Unha botella de que? Ah, bueno, teño unha botella de algo, de que? Sustancia combustible para prender fuego a un arma o que varios enemigos se envuelvan... Oh, mira tú. Podo chamuscalos, mira tú, que guapo. A ver, ¿a dónde teño que ir ahora? Por aquí. Vamos a esta, que está solo. Y después volvemos. Pero como tal puede manipular el fuego. Una vez desbloqueada una habilidad de rival en el archivo del personaje, podrás usarla mediante la barra de habilidades, vale. Personaje. Poido... Este xa lo teño. A ver, este. Teño que dar a esto, narices. Non me queda outra. Esto que é daños en el tiempo interrumpido. Acelera la combustión de un enemigo que ya está ardiendo. Emana un calor que le permite aumentar la recuperación de la salud. Pasivo. Combustión acelerada es aún más rápida, causa mayores daños. Non sei a por que ir. Sí, vamos poñer defensivo porque non teño armadura. Bueno, non sei porque lle coincidiu, realmente. Sigo facendo o personaje a ollo, realmente. Non estou moi certo do que está pasando tampouco. Ala, a ver que pasa aquí. Tíos, que vades facer? Que non me armedes. Estade quietos.
Ah, there you are, Captain. We were about to execute these men.
No, sí,
they must learn who's in charge here.
These people must have committed serious crimes if they are to be executed.
They were amongst the rioters. They must be guilty of something.
If you execute people without reason, the situation will only grow worse. Allow me some time to question them.
What shall we do, Captain?
These vermin don't deserve such kind treatment. But fine. Let's see what my cousin is made of.
A ver logo. ¿Dónde están? Ya me perdí. Aquí. A ver tú, ¿qué fixeche, infeliz?
Tell us why you're here, friend.
They started it. We just came to ask for something to eat.
Shut your mouth, scum! You killed one of our men in the port and you will pay for that!
This guard claims to have seen you at the port storehouse.
I was there with the others to demand food, my lord. But I'd already left when that guard got an axe through the head.
What is this man being accused of?
My lord, this man was seen in the port, where the rioting broke out.
And you suspect that he is responsible for this unrest?
One of our guards was killed in front of the storehouse. Someone must pay for that.
Pero tío, vamos a ver, pero tío, tú tío, ¿de qué vas? Puerta.
Let him go.
Veña, hombre, lárgate, que non te quero ver, Y ya eres o primeiro infeliz para sentenciar a morte, hijos de puta. Pequeño Leo, madre mía, vaya pintas estás tú. A ver, ¿qué fixeche?
This man was found near the dying body of one of our men.
Joder, otra vez.
Look at him, he's pissed himself. You don't need more proof than that.
A ver,
what were you doing near this guard's body?
I beg of you, my lord. I am innocent. I swear it by the Seven.
That is not what I asked. Why were you close to the body?
I am innocent. I did nothing. I killed no one.
This man apparently killed a guard.
Everything leads us to believe it, my lord. We found him carrying an enormous knife.
What were you doing carrying a knife?
Well, because I'm an apprentice to the butcher in the marketplace.
Este non mata ningún con eso, joder, pero ¿qué me estás contando? Pírate, venga, venga, hombre.
Right away.
Pero tú, tío... ¿A qué me va a matar los retrasados mentales, hombre? Venga. ¿Tú qué? Tú no sé.
You're finally to die, you piece of shit.
I've nothing to do with all this. My lot kept out of it from the start.
I don't give a damn. You've been a pain in our asses for far too long.
What were you doing during the rioting?
I live in the inn overlooking the port with some friends. We haven't set foot outside since the revolt started. A group of armed guards arrived and dragged me off in the middle of a game of cards. So that is River Spring justice, huh? Quick executions without reason?
For what crime do you wish to punish this man?
He belongs to an organized gang currently ruling over the port.
They hold the merchants to ransom. They all pay with coin or their lives.
We have good relations with the merchants on the port. They appreciate our protection.
Protection? Don't make me laugh. We finally have the chance to get our hands on him. River Spring will be better off without him.
Send him to the dungeons. The situation in town is too dire to let him roam freely.
Our friend already knows the way.
You're making a grave error, my lord.
Potalego. Directo. A ver tú, mi nena. ¿Qué fregado te metiches tú? Yo, eso volvió
You'll pay for what you did, whore.
I wish you had been in your squalor's house as it burned.
¿Qué te pasa, hombre?
If you set his house on fire, you do realize that a lord can cut off your hands for far less than that.
Oh, please, don't cut off my hands, my lord. Your guard there. He took advantage of the rioting to violate my little sister. I found her in tears, unable to speak.
You can't call that rape. The girl didn't even put up a fight.
I'll gut you and make you eat your own shit.
Your behavior is the cause of all this. You are the only person here who deserves punishment. Send him to the dungeons while I decide his fate. And let this woman go.
Tienes que cortarle la cabeza, tío. Es un blando. Es un blando, tío. Eso no se fai, tío.
Are you done, my lord?
Yes, but no one is to take such decisions in the future without telling me first. Try to at least hear what they have to say before passing sentence. Is that understood?
Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord. Hala, vamos, vamos. Venga, me queda... ¿Qué tengo que hacer ahora? Ir por ahí, buscar... No, a ver qué pasa por ahí. A ver, ¿qué pasa aquí? Ay, no, no es aquí. Es por aquí entonces. No. ¿Y aquí? Sí, no, tenemos que ir aquí. Sí, aquí.
Open this gate. I'm going to town.
Understood.
Así me gusta, sin rechistar. Por aquí, por aquí, por aquí. Pasa, tío, ¿qué te contas? ¿Estás aquí tú solo? Vaya colleros que botas tú también, ¿no?
What is going on here? There's an angry mob on the other side of the door. We closed the portcullis behind them. Ha! The idiots are stuck inside. But it should be fine. The door is strong.
Sí,
very well. Keep the door closed until further notice.
Very well, my lord.
No, tío, non ci dicen eso. Dicen que os deixaron salir.
Back so soon, my lord? Have you changed your mind about those rebels trapped inside?
Open this door immediately. We'll try to reason with them.
I'm not sure that would be very wise, my lord. They're pretty wild in there. But if that's really what you want to do...
Ataca, tío. Golpe disuasorio. Ahí estamos. E outro, non? Golpe disuasorio tamén. Creo que hai. Ah, teño colega aquí, que é isto? Ataque con aturdimiento. Reparación rápida. Vale, así, a ver. Dios, que hostias pega, colega. Outra vez, golpe disuasorio, arma de una mano. A este, outra vez. Ataque con aturdimiento. ¡Flash! ¡Qué hostias tengo! Odiacete, chaval, qué caña. Hostia, coprimo. Se que son unhas hostias, sí señor. É un garrote, bueno, pois... un problema mañado. Vamos por siguiente. A ver qué hay por aquí, a ver qué hay por aquí. ¿Qué te contas tú, tío?
Stop! Leave that man be!
We're just taking back what is ours. These cursed lords have made our life hard for far too long.
Perhaps you want us to slit your throats, like the vultures you are.
You have not had an easy life up until now, but I will ensure that things will change. In the meantime, go calmly home and all will be well.
I won't risk my life for this shit.
Vale, outro problema menos. Eu valía para político. Tío, no, ahí. Vamos a ver, por aquí. Más monedas. ¿Tú qué quieres?
What are you doing? This is no time to stand up.
I know it better than most, my lord. I lost my 3 sons today. There's nothing to keep me here any longer.
Sí, se os vengaré, non aire.
Those guilty of this will be judged, be they villagers or guards. I will never again accept such madness within our walls.
The people who did that to my own blood, they'll pay too. May I live long enough to see that with my own eyes.
Hombre, está realmente interesante este xogo, O acto anterior era todo ataque. Non había prácticamente nada desto. E este acto é todo goberno. O personaje... Oye, está ben, está me gustando.
Shit! The captain of the guard! Not a step further, or we will kill all of these lords!
Bastards! They're going after the burial guests. How do you want to proceed, Alistair?
Sí.
People of River Spring, I am Alistair Sarwick.
Necesito peña
Why
que me
are you
curre. Si os
attacking
mato a
these
todos,
innocent
no vai quedar
people?
peña para currar.
We've been dying of hunger for years, while these lords and ladies with their
Non te preocupes,
jewels just
doiche
strut
uns
around
céntimos
us
e
like
amañas.
peacocks.
Start by letting these people go. Nothing can be resolved while you still threaten them.
Free them? You must be joking. The port's merchants are all penniless. We ask only for enough to buy new wares and reopen our stores.
Sí, joder, veña, sí.
Very well. You can take their valuables, but do not harm them and let them go free.
Don't touch me. Here, take my rings, thieves.
Thank you, sir. Let's go, lads.
Hola.
You made a bad mistake, Alistair. Your father would never have made a deal with those beggars. This isn't the end of it, mark my words. As far as I know, you're not yet lord of this place. And, truth be told, I hope you never will be. Sir Valar would certainly be better a man for this role.
That will not happen as long as I live.
Joder, non che gustou, Molaban os anillos, tío.
You acted admirably, my lord.
What were you doing, ferryman?
The lords wanted me to help them leave the town, but these brutes attacked us before I could cast off the moorings. It's a good thing you arrived when you did. I didn't think I'd make it. Let me know if I can return the favor one day.
Mucha palabra, barquero. Da mucha palabra. As nenas bonitas
Our neighbours probably won't appreciate the news very much, but it will serve them right. They've taken advantage of our lands for long enough.
Ahora teño que ir a Palín, a ver que pasa ali. Joder, que traballiño da City esta, Puídenme quedar no onde estaba. Non sei pa que vin. Joder, vir pa este. A ver. Que acabo de enterrar a meu pai, joder.
Captain, this way.
Vale, tío, vou por aí.
Captain, be careful. The rebels control this area.
What are you going on about, Craven? You think you can restore order to the town by hiding like a little girl?
There are quite a lot of them, armed to the teeth in the marketplace.
Archers, listen to me. We will attempt to resolve the situation, but you'll have to move from here. Go position yourselves high on the roofs and balconies with a clear view of the square.
Do you hear him? Do what he says and quick about it. I think I understand your little plan, Alistair. The archers covering our backs will lend a bit of strength to our negotiations.
The archers will not fire, Ryman. Our sole objective is to make the villagers see reason.
O medo. Hai que usar o medo como arma. Ás veces vale máis o medo que unha escopeta. Sí, eso é verdad. É máis útil o medo que as armas. A ver, vamos a lo. Que hai 4 gatos, non? Non hai tampouco tanto.
You are completely mad. Nothing good will come of this revolt.
You'd better think well, Baker. If you're not with us, you're against us.
Please, Preston, just listen to yourself. We've lived in the same town since we were little.
What's going on here?
¿Qué coño pasa aquí,
Attacking the
tíos?
castle guards wasn't enough for you. You have to fight amongst yourselves too.
Ah, there are the guards. Milords, we are faithful to House Sarwick, and we're trying to calm them, but it's impossible to make them listen to reason.
Traitors! You wish to continue living in squalor and eating only what the lords shit out?
Silence! I am the son of the late Lord Sarwick. Who is behind this revolt?
He's a merchant who works at the port, goes by the name of Tyrek. He's well respected by the people of River Spring.
At least he's one of ours. He suffers with us and fights with us. He's the only one who's dared to act while we die in squalor.
Sí.
I understand. I will ask that food from the castle be distributed, but first you must stop this revolt.
You would do that? Swear by the Seven, and we will put down our weapons.
Vaya, solo querían comida, eses dioses non son os meus, exactamente. Eu xuro por meu Deus, tío, non por os teus.
The Seven are not my gods. I swear to keep my word by the divine light of R'hllor.
I know nothing of your god, but I trust your word.
The people will never be abandoned again. Trust me.
Vale, tío.
My thanks, my lord. I was so afraid the situation would get out of hand.
Unfortunately, River Spring has seen too much of its own blood these last hours.
Tyrek promised them that there would be no innocent victims, and those poor sods believed him.
My Lord Sarwick, Tyrek, the leader of the revolt, has turned up at the castle doors. He will only negotiate with you.
The traitor finally shows his face. It's time to put a stop to this madness.
Sí, bueno, pois se quere falar comigo, falo con él, non teño ningún problema. Non, a mí dame igual. Ahora que se quedou sin soldados, ten que negociar a collos.
Our actions in town led him to react. He understands that his movement is losing momentum. Guard, tell him I'm on my way.
Very well, my lord.
Yes, my lord. Eso fixo yo Rubalcaba o presidente de Estados Unidos. Ai. Ala. A ver, a onde teño que ir? Por aquí. Eso que son monedas ou peñaca que teño que falar ou que demonios é eso? No, xa eso. Non teño pelas para comprar armas, así que tontería preguntarle o que ten. Non sei as pelas que teño, pero teño 4 monedas, non creo que teña moito máis. Con eso non vou a ningún lado.
Open the gate. I'm returning to the castle.
Very well.
Ahora por aquí, 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 por aquí. A ver, tíos, veña, abrid a puta porta.
The man who everyone is talking about? The famous Alistair Sarwick?
We already spoke on the quay. You pretended you were just a foreigner, but now that you're with your guards, you finally show your true face.
This morning I was only a stranger, but the situation has changed and I have to act. You are the man who started the rioting which led to a full revolt.
You know nothing of our problems. Your family sits warm in your castle while we die of hunger in the streets.
He proved that he is on our side today, Tyrek. His was generous in his judgment, and he was able to stop the slaughter in the marketplace.
I've made decisions which may seem unjust to you, but they were for the good of Riverspring. Our town is where it is today because ties with the lords of the Westerlands have been cut. To bring our lands back to health, we must gain the trust and support of the lords.
Unfortunately, your efforts seem to be in vain, Alistair. You were too lenient in your judgment. You made us pay the ransom ourselves on the wharf, and you lacked authority when facing the rebels in the marketplace.
May the lords of the Westerlands rest easy. From now on, I will do everything in my power to restore Riverspring to its former glory.
You disgust me. You reveal yourself for what you are. Despite your actions during the rioting, you defend the privileges of the lords. Nothing changes. The people will continue to die of hunger, while the lords feast.
During the rioting, the people of Riverspring did not die of hunger. They died by the sword, Tyrek. Do you not take any blame for having brought about these massacres? Riverspring has suffered heavy losses on both sides, the people and the guards alike.
The Guard will fight to the end for the survival of Riverspring, but your decisions did not help us at all. You're so interested in gaining the people's love that you'll lead the town to ruin. You can't rule the town with weak actions.
The people no longer support you, Tyrek. Your cause means nothing now.
He's right, Tyrek. The rioting was foolery. Many of our people died today. Leave it be.
Enough bloodshed, Tyrek. Accept your defeat. Accept your situation. You have no support anymore.
You may have calmed them with your pretty speeches, but I know that it won't change and we'll just keep dying!
I will rebuild Riverspring again if it costs me my life.
¿Qué fai? ¿Lo mato o non lo mato? Si non lo mato vai me causar problemas o tipo, bueno, fijo. E se o mato podeseme levantar a peña. Se o mato son decisións fortes. Mato. É o que hai.
As for you, Tyrek, the matter ends here and now.
Exactamente, eres o causante. Hai que cortarse a puta cabeza. Fast. Obliga a subir en un radio de 3 metros con un ataque circular rápido. Estabilidad realiza. É que non teño ataques que faigan. Tío. Esto. Ataque sigiloso, non teño. É que non teño ataques, isto é basura. Unha mierda de dagas sin ataque.
Lord Alistair.
Debenos pillar mal antes.
Very nearly destroyed Riverspring.
Harwin, you address me as Lord now?
Although you do not officially hold the title of Lord, you have shown that you have the soul of one. From this point forth, I shall address you as such.
I shall try to be worthy of your trust. The town may be appeased, but I could not please everyone.
It is difficult to lead. Your choices will always leave someone unhappy. The important thing is that you made decisions where others would simply let the situation deteriorate. The decisions you made today brought peace back to Riverspring. That is all that matters.
He is right, Alistair. I never thought I would say this, but River Spring needs a man like you. It would be a shame for you to leave now.
Joder, como cambias
Thank
tú,
you, Ryman. Rest assured, I do not intend to leave. Not anymore.
Good to hear.
Now that this matter has been taken care of, I would like to carry on our discussion regarding my brother, Gawain.
Not here, Alistair. It has been a particularly delicate matter since the death of Lord Reynold. Find me at the castle.
Understood.
Bueno, creo que é o momento de deixar aquí o gameplay este. Impresións mellorando, realmente. Cada vez que avanzas un pouco o xogo mellora. O de cambiar de repente no segundo acto totalmente de personaje foi un toque interesante, cando menos. Sigo dicindo que os gráficos non son o mellor, pero tampouco son importantes realmente. A historia é increíble, meteste dentro e sinteste parte dela. Os diálogos ben vedes que son inmensos, a cinemática é moi boa, así que estou realmente contento, Espero vos no seguinte gameplay, que xa terei uns cascos novos tuneados e estarán aí tú guapos. Veña, unha aperta e ta logo.